Oh, you got it. It's a home game, easy game. You should beat Syracuse badly. Well, they heard the same thing before the Utah game. They trailed by 3 at half, and it took a halftime tirade to get things going. Same thing happened tonight. 12 rounds of throwdown when you take on the Spartans, though. It's going to be a 40-minute fight. Syracuse would jump out early. Jason Hart swipes the ball from Mateen Cleaves. And before a stunned Palace crowd, Syracuse off to the great start. Eton Thomas the block. Damone Brown to Hart. Back to Brown for the dunk. Syracuse by 13 at halftime. Cleaves into the locker room, asserted his leadership, sparked him with his words, and then sparked him with his assist. The dish to Mo Pete for the three right there. It's only a 5-point game. Then Cleaves to Granger for the lay-in. 19 big points for A.J. Granger. More good ball movement. Cleaves swings it to Bell, who got out of his shooting slump. Stepped up in the gap there, that zone, and knocked the shot down.
Did a great job getting in, but Jason Hart on a penetration comes back, gets another layup score. Real conversion early in this game. This is when this thing gets going.
Yeah, well, that was Syracuse's last basket of the game because Michigan State cranked up the defense. A 17-0 run in the second half to turn this one into a woodshed beating after the spirited halftime discussion. The Spartans march on to the Elite Eight.
Michigan State really sloppy in the first half. 8 turnovers, which led to 12 points off turnovers for Syracuse. And
4 for the second straight year. Meanwhile, UCLA and Iowa State, second game tonight at the Palace. Jamal Tinsley, a terrific ball game. The New York City native makes the steal there. It feeds Marcus Fizer. 8 seconds into the game, Fizer hit a layup, and they led by 10 at that point. Later on, look at Tinsley. Dick, you said that's pure the Rucker, that tournament they play in New York City Summer League.
That's shake and bake style, baby, and he was penetrating all game long.
Earl Watson, the counterpart, knocking down the deep triple. That cut it to a 12-point halftime deficit. Iowa State comes out. Michael Nurse, one of their perimeter threats in that three-guard offense, knocking down the 3 ball.
Well, I tell you, the game was really established early. Inside, they couldn't handle Fizer. He just dominated on the glass.
And then Tinsley dishing, penetrating. He finds Stevie Johnson. They fall asleep on defense.
10 assists for Tinsley. Did a great job. Knew when to score, but also knew when to dish it off for assist.
And the pretty dish, and you can see that this one also developed into a woodshed beating late in the game. Iowa State, 32-4. This team's for real, guys.
And it was for real because their backcourt had 29 points to UCLA's 11.
6 seed Purdue against Gonzaga. The Zags actually the favorite in this game, and talking like, well, we were surprised that St. John's, they really stuck around. They didn't go away. Didn't go away. I mean, obviously this team has gained confidence. Could they take down the Boilermakers, or would they revert to the team that lost to San Diego this season? Greg McQuay misses on the inside. Jerron Cornell, the tip-in. Boilermakers playing physical, and Richie Fromm is frustrated with the defense of Mike Robinson.
Oh, I thought they did a great job defending Fromm. Take a look right here. Robinson right up in his face. I thought Purdue did something that most clubs could not do. Look at him get over the top of the screen. They really bothered Santangelo and Fromm. Both guys struggled. In fact, Fromm didn't have a field goal in the first half, and Santangelo one time in the second half was 3 for 9. They're not going to win, Gonzaga, unless their 2 guards really can have a big performance.
Following around screens again, the perimeter shots for Gonzaga not falling, but these are not easy looks. Gonzaga 5 of 20 from behind the arc.
And you got to give credit to Purdue's defense. They did a good job on ball pressure, but they really punished Gonzaga on the offensive boards, coming up with 20 offensive rebounds, out-rebounding them 44-33.
A missed free throw by Cardinal, but sneaking in there, Greg McQuay for the putback. 18 offensive boards.
Well, you know, they had 20 offensive rebounds that converted to 23 points on second effort attempts. So when you're having that happen, Gene Katie now in the Elite Eight for the second time in his career.
They did a great job on defense, I thought, holding Santangelo. 9 points, 4 rebounds. Fromm, 9 points, 4 rebounds. Both players combined 12 for 30.
LSU and Dick Bennett with the familiar scowl, the sour face, but really it was LSU fans who had reason to be disgusted as their team tried to solve that swarming Badger man-to-man, turnover after turnover. At one point in this first half, LSU had 14 turnovers. You can see the 14 points and only 14 field goal attempts.
And they do it with discipline, defense, and patience on offense. Watch how they penetrate, find the open people, make it into easy points. LSU did not do a good job defensively, but fell into the pit with 23 turnovers, which led to 27 points.
Yeah, they had the second chance points off the Kowski miss. Mark Vershaw kicks it to Linton for the dunk.
I'll tell you one thing, their patience on offense really helps their defense. But defensively, they step in the lanes really well. Here's a conversion. Up they go for the easy layup. They really are so aggressive defensively, and they function as a unit. Then here's the patience on offense, making the extra pass, and they can shoot the open three.
And what you see a couple times now is the opponent, whether it's Arizona or LSU, when they fall behind, you see the tears. They just get frustrated. They kind of stop playing defense as well.
Wisconsin does this to you early in the game. At one point, LSU had 14 shots, 14 turnovers, and 14 points.
Hey, guys, they took two guys that are probably playing the NBA, and they made them look like very mediocre players when you talk Smith and Swift.
Around, it's a high-risk, potentially high-return attack. They've stuck with it tonight against Duke, and they answered when a veteran Duke team made a big charge at the beginning of the second half. You can see Jason Williams had a real tough start, blocked down low by Brett Nelson, pushes it, and the freshman knocking down the triple. Nelson, a big 15 points.
I'll tell you, that diaper dandy came in and really did a super job. There's the full traps. They were trapping the entire night. I thought they wore Duke down. I thought fatigue set in late in the game.
Second half, Florida still pressing, up 6. Dunleavy's jumper for the pass knocked away by Nelson. Williams and Nelson fight for the ball. Kenyon Weeks right there.
That's flagrant. That's flagrant. That is absolutely flagrant.
Would have been kicked out of the game and said it was a technical. Later in the second, Duke trying to protect the three-point lead. They force a turnover. Williams pushes, goes behind the back to Dunleavy. Williams made some big plays to spark the Duke run after that terrible start. But Teddy Dupay answering for the Gators.
That was a big three to put them right back in it, and that was the difference in the game.
And then Nelson to Brent Wright for the lay-in. Nelson, terrific job pushing the ball aggressively up the court. And finally, we talked about it, Duke unable to hit from behind the line. Tears for Carrawell as he exits the game for the final time in a Duke uniform.
Well, I just want to simply say, Chris Carrawell, you've given us lots and lots of thrills.
Of course, we told you earlier, not able to go, trying to be a cheerleader on the sidelines. And Seton Hall, you know, to their credit, hung in without him and Remus Kalkanis, who was battling the flu all week, giving it a go here. Ty Shine, you know he'd have to be monstrous as he was against Temple, knocking down the three. Seton Hall led by 1 at the half. Oklahoma State would come out, and this is as close as they get to a running game. Kalkanis gives it up. Montanati for the dunk right there. Cowboys build a 5-point lead. Offensive rebounding. The Hall battling inside. The inside guys don't get much credit there, but there's Charles Manga with the putback.
That surprised me how well Seton Hall did play on the boards tonight. They came with a purpose and got it done, but can't leave this guy open.
Oh, Joey, that's a wild shot.
I'll tell you, he makes a lot of big plays, though, guys. He's been making big plays all year long, one of their unsung heroes.
Oklahoma State just missed layup after layup. Finally, this shot got your first field goal in forever. Montanati puts them up 3. Off the missed free throw, Seton Hall kicks it to Kalkanis, who banks in the triple.
Off the bank, baby.
Have to sweat. You can see with 0.5 to go, the correct strategy is just to miss that free throw, so it comes off the rim. Seton Hall, no chance for the three-pointer, and Oklahoma State survives.
Well, Mason was big inside with the points of 8, but I credit Darius Lane. He
game by committing 26 turnovers this year and beat Tennessee by 20 down in Puerto Rico. You can see Dante Swanson with the steal, the wild shot. We show you this sequence, not because it's pretty, not because it's textbook, because it's indicative of how this game is played. Look at the wild missed shots, the block, the scramble, behind the back. Hemsley, probably a carry, gets away with it, but drills the three-pointer, and Miami would make a run in this game.
And that was key because before halftime, Miami goes on a 17-6 run to cut it to a 6-point deficit at halftime.
You can see Harrington. There's some foul trouble for Tulsa throughout the game. Miami's still trying to rally. Vernon Jennings knocks down the triple, but Tulsa, in the end, just like the Cincinnati game, allows the opponent to get close and then turns it back on.
Well, they turn it back on. They got great balance. I thought what really hurt in this game for Miami was Tyler and Bland did not have a good game. They were 5 for 21. And on the other side, you look at Tulsa running up and down the floor. They have forced 20 or more turnovers 19 times this year. I'll tell you, Bill Self is a hot, hot product.
It's been a nice run for the Volunteers this season. And Bill Guthridge of Carolina, an embattled guy who just taken so much heat during the regular season. All that suddenly been erased in 2 weekends here. Joseph Forte, the freshman, carrying the Heels early. Brilliant offensive start. 4 straight baskets for the Tar Heel freshman. Tennessee then turns on the defense. They didn't play much early, but they got to go and force some turnovers, got the ball inside. Brendan Haywood surrounded right there. Then the turnover by Forte, and Isaiah Victor with a punch down, and Tennessee led by 8 in the second half. Volunteers show some ball movement. Oh, a little backdoor cut, and the dunk by Vincent Yarborough. Tennessee still up 7. Carolina cuts it down to 2. But then Brendan Haywood picks up foul number 5. He leaves.
With 8
11
minutes
points
out
and
of
5 rebounds. Yeah, could Carolina come back?
Cota comes back with 2 big baskets back-to-back. Big ones where he has 7 assists, 7 rebounds, but he came to play when it counted down the stretch.
He's played some uneven games, you're right, all season long, but showing the veteran leadership, the drive, and the lay-in. Ed Cota, another guy who's taken tremendous heat all season long, may have the last laugh.
Well, key factor tonight, Tony Harris hurts that wrist, and it took him about 32 minutes before he got his first basket. He was 1 for 7, and with him not being a factor in their offense, they couldn't really get the spurt time going that they like to do.
Well, you know, Joseph Forte comes up with 22 points. But I'll tell you guys this. I'm a little bit tired of hearing about the comments that, oh, the media, we want to prove to the media the bottom line that we can play. The bottom line is the media's been right. The media's been right, as we can see here in the tournament. They had the potential, and I'm really so happy for Bill Guthridge.